Hey everyone, Jeff Bowders here with Drumset Academy, and welcome to the final lesson in our three-part flammed fill phrasing study. Yeah, here we go. So if you remember part one, basically we laid the foundation with exploring different three-note phrases and multiple different applications and orchestrations with them. And then in part two, we upped the ante a bit to some five-note phrases that potentially were even cooler than the three. But today we're gonna merge the 3 and 5 note phrases together because, well, 3s and 5s actually add up to 16, and 16 is a magical number, especially if we're playing in a 16th note time field. So if you recall, when we just played like a 3-note phrase and we started that phrase on beat 1, that doesn't naturally resolve at the end of the bar, right? 3 doesn't go into 16 evenly. So we have to artificially resolve it and get out of it. Same thing happened with the 5s, right? But the cool thing with when we combine 3s and 5s is that they add up to 16 fairly easily. 2 3s and 2 5s, boom, some quick math, we got 16 notes right there. And this way we can come up with some pretty cool syncopated rhythms without us having to artificially resolve them. And that's kind of fun. It's kind of nice, and that's what we're going to be exploring today. So if you've already downloaded part 1 and part 2, the PDFs for each one of those lessons, you'll definitely want to download the PDF for this one as well. All Drumset Academy lessons, we always have a nice clean PDF for you. So you want to complete the series. You don't want to be incomplete, all right? So definitely go and do that. I think the preamble is over. Let's get on to the lesson. Here we go. Let's phrase it up. 3s and 5s. Let's make it happen. So if you haven't checked out part 1 and part 2 of this lesson series, I highly recommend that you do that right now before you watch the rest of this. In those lessons, we thoroughly covered and explained all the different orchestrations and applications that we're going to be using all day today. Okay, so today is more or less just a demo day of showing how we can combine these 3 and 5 note groupings that we've already established through those previous 2 lessons. So we're really not going to be digging too deep into the theory behind the techniques, okay? So let's get started with understanding how these 3s and 5s work together by taking a pretty simple combination or sequence. We're gonna play a 3 and then a 5 and then a 3 and a 5. Okay, so let's start with the kick and snare drum first. This is going to be 1A. All right, here we go. 3s and 5s.
1, 2, 3.
All right, now let's just add our tom snare orchestration for all the flams. This is going to be 1B. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Now our next orchestration is that Tony Williams cymbal application where we're playing the cymbal supported with the kick drum right after all of the flams. Sounds like this. Here we go. This is 1C.
1, 2, 3.
And of course, we can't forget our blushdas. Here's 1D with this 3-5-3-5 combination. Here we go.
1, 2.
Cool. Now let's just play all those orchestrations down once again, all in a row, but a little bit faster. This is going to be 1A through 1D. Here we go.
1, 2.
right, now let's change the order or the sequence of these 3s and 5s. Let's do 3, 5, 5, 3. And let's take it through all the same orchestrations and applications that we just did. But let's start with the kick and snare variation first, which is 2A. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
So this concept obviously isn't just limited to 1-bar phrases. We can use the same idea and concept to help us get comfortable with longer stretches of time, like 2-bar phrases. So all we have to do is take the same approach that we've been doing with this 1-bar phrase and just double it. So rather than working with 2 3s and 2 5s for a 1-bar phrase, we're going to do 4 3s and 4 5s for a 2-bar phrase. So for this example, though, we're going to pick a combination or a sequence of 3s and 5s that don't necessarily resolve at the end of the first bar, because I want you to start getting comfortable and just becoming aware of how these phrases create what is known as an over-the-bar phrase, something that doesn't naturally resolve at the end of the bar. And this is a lesson in of itself. I just want to plant the seed and use this as an opportunity to do that right now. So the combination or the sequence that we're going to use is going to be 3, 5, 5, 5, 3, 5, 3, 3. Okay? This is why you need to download the PDF. It'll help your life immensely. So make sure to go do that. So we're going to start off the same way. We're going to get comfortable with it with just the snare and the kick drum. So this is 3A, this 2-bar phrase. Here we go. Let's try it.
1, 2, 3.
Now let's apply some of those various orchestration concepts we developed to this awesome combo platter of phrasing goodness. This is going to be 3B. Here we go.
1, 2.
Okay, so finally, I want to leave you with a little seed of some rhythmic goodness here. So far, this entire lesson series has been based within 16th notes. And especially in this lesson, we've been exploring how 3 and 5 note groupings or combinations of 3 and 5 note groupings will evenly add up to 16. Well, guess what? 3s and 5s can also evenly add up to 24. And 24 is another pretty cool, magical rhythmic number. Why? Because 16th note triplets, one bar of 16th note triplets actually has 24 notes. So this means we can use all of our same 3 and 5 note phrases, all the same orchestrations and applications that we've been working on, that we've been mastering up until this point, and directly and easily apply those to a 16th note triplet time field. All we need to do is just use 3 3s and 3 5s. And then we got it. We have an evenly set of 24 notes. And the reason why I like kind of messing around with these odd note phrases and just kind of seeing what comes up is because they force me out of my rhythmic comfort zone, right? A lot of times kind of the syncopation of how these phrases work aren't something that I would just naturally come up with myself. And so they force me to really kind of get uncomfortable. And that's a good thing because otherwise we tend to just kind of play whatever's comfortable to us. So that's why I really enjoy this kind of process or this method of kind of messing around with the numbers. Of course, it's no guarantee that it's always going to be this super cool, amazing, awesome drumming idea. And sometimes it won't be at all. Sometimes it might sound pretty terrible. But also sometimes you could come up with something really, really cool and exciting that may open up a whole new world of possibilities to you. And that's really my hope and goal for you to experience throughout this whole process. So let's just take a series of 3s and 5s and explore how they're going to sound within a 16th note triplet time field. We're going to use the combination or the sequence of 3, 5, 5, 3, 5, 3. Okay, once again, download the PDF so you can see it visually. It'll help you out a lot. All right, so let's start with the kick and snare first. This is 4A. Here we go.
2, 3, 4. 3, 3.
All right, now let's add the tom snare combination to all the flams. Here we go. This is 4B.
2, 3. 3.
Okay, now our Tony Williams cymbal application, right? Cymbal right after all the flams. This is 4C. Let's do it.
2, 3. 3.
Okay, and finally, our favorite, the blush die. Here we go. This is 4D. Let's do it.
1, 2. 3. Two, 1, 2, 3. 1.
All right, troops, that's it. If you made it through all 3 lessons, thanks for hanging in there. I know it's a lot of information, but that's what we do here at Drum Discipline Academy. We take these deep dives into one particular idea or concept just so that we can thoroughly understand all aspects of it. Because the idea here, it's always quality, it's never quantity. So even though we may do a lot of different applications, it's all centered around one specific idea, and that's how we work on the quality of it. That's how you work on the quality of anything, actually. So if you enjoy this type of method or study or approach, I actually offer a few times a year an 8-week boot camp. that really is just an excavation into the foundations of drumming. We take these deep dives into the essentials of rhythm and coordination, ultimately just to help you get on the clearest path possible to becoming your best. All right. So if becoming your best sounds interesting to you, which I hope it does, you can sign up at the link below and be notified for the next opening of the boot camp. All right. So I hope to see you in there. It's all my students that have gone through it have benefited greatly from it. And I know you will too. So hopefully I'll see you in there. All right. So let's wrap it up for this lesson. Thanks for hanging in there. Until the next one, stay focused, practice with purpose. We'll see you soon. All right. Take care. Bye.